Okay, guys, don't look at me like I'm crazy, all right? Tabitha is a witch. I saw her. She was being witchy before you got here.
Kay, how can what you're saying possibly be true?
If our house can get sucked into hell by demons, then Tabitha can be a witch.
Do you honestly think that Tabitha would let you accuse her of these things if she was a witch? Kay, no, she would turn you into a toad or a worm or something to keep you quiet.
I think Ivy's right. You must have hit your head harder than you imagined when you fell in the snow. You imagined Tabitha being witchy, the same way you imagined you heard Ivy and David plotting to come between your mother and me.
No! I didn't imagine it. Guys, Reese has been telling us for years that Tabitha's a witch. Well, it just turns out he's right, okay?
No, Reese changed his mind, Kay. You know, he realized that somebody like Tabitha and just the way she loved Timmy, she couldn't possibly be an evil witch, so he apologized, didn't he?
Yes, yes. I must say Ross was most humble and eloquent in admitting the error of his ways.
Reese was wrong to admit he was wrong. Tabitha is a witch.
Really, Kay? I think it's most unkind of you to go around calling women of a certain maturity witches, especially since I was nice enough to lend you my sleeping bag.
Oh.
Well, I am not the brilliant doctor that Eve is, but I think the rising egg on Kay's forehead could be the reason that she's saying these ridiculous, not to mention hurtful things. I mean, we know Kay. Kay's a sweet girl. She's far too sweet to call a defenseless older woman a witch or accuse David and me of plotting against you. Poor Kay. I think she might be hallucinating.
Daddy Warbucks, why don't you give poor little orphan Annie some of those greenbacks?
Gladly, my sweet. Oh. Who's your daddy?
Oh, you are. Wolf.
Beat it, Sandy.
Oh, Daddy Warbucks. Oh, what a big wad of bills you have.
Ooh. Those oysters you fed me earlier finally are kicking in. Little Julian's up and running again.
Oh. You know, I know that we have to give all this beautiful money to the secret informant I have who dug up all that dirt on Teresa so we can finally get rid of her. But before we give it to him, why don't we put it to better use?
What could possibly be better than purging Teresa from our lives?
How about making love on $1 million?
Oh, I can't wait to make a deposit.
Oh, but remember, there's a penalty for early withdrawal.
Oh, gross!
Oh, I'll say.
Oh, my...
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Thank God it's you and not Simone. I mean, I just had a heck of a time convincing her to sleep upstairs in her room instead of down there with me.
I can't blame her for wanting to be with you. You know, I couldn't sleep thinking of you spending the night over here because of the blizzard.
Well, I'm fine now. Now that you're here.
I decided to come down here and check. I knew Whitney would try to pull something like this. Well, she won't get away with it. I'll teach Whitney to stab me in the back.
Eve, I thought you were,
Still working late at the hospital?
No, I thought that you come home after I went to sleep and that you was waking me up to make love to me.
Why was the door locked?
What?
The door, TC. Why were you and Liz in our room, in our bed, with the door locked?
Liz locked it.
Okay, now why does that not surprise me?
Don't blame her. Liz was sleepwalking.
No, she wasn't.
What must one do to have privacy in this house?
Yeah, the doors were shut for a reason, you know.
Well, trust me. If we would have known that the two of you were in here bumping and grinding, we would have locked the doors and thrown away the key.
Are you going to let your wife insult us that way?
Actually, you should be glad we're not suing for mental anguish.
Good one, Fox.
Thanks, Mom.
But now see here, I will not have my wife in name only and my no-account son telling me how to behave in my own home.
I don't care what you do in the privacy of your bedroom, Julian, or how many donkeys that it takes to do it. But this is my living room, and I'm not going to have you two running around here like pigs in heat.
This is my house. I shall rut where and when I please.
What is all this money doing here, huh? There must be $1 million.
Put that back.
Oh, come on, Daddy. Warbucks? I could use a little advance on my allowance.
You forget it.
Okay, but you still didn't answer my question. What's all this money for?
I am not hallucinating.
Oh, poor Kay. I think you're in such pain, you're not thinking straight.
Yeah, Kay, I mean, between that bump on your head and those raging hormones, you don't know how ridiculous you sound.
Let me get you some ice, okay? Yeah. I don't need ice. I'm not in pain. Except when I yell, because you guys aren't believing me.
Listen, honey, I don't doubt for a minute that you believe what you've been saying about Ivy, David, and Tabitha is true.
Dad, you said you believed me. You looked into my eyes and you said I was telling the truth.
That's right, I did. Because I believed that you believed it.
Oh, this cannot be happening.
But it is, Kay. It's everything else you said that never happened.
No.
Honey, listen to yourself. You're sounding crazy.
Dad, I'm not crazy. Ivy's making me sound crazy, but everything that I've told you is the truth. Okay? I know Ivy and David are working together. And I know Tabitha is a witch. She was spinning in midair, and she had butterflies coming out of her ears. Look!
looking at?
I saw you hiccup, and guess what? A butterfly flew out of your mouth.
Oh, really, Kay? That's as outlandish as me being a witch.
Exactly. Because they're both true.
Well, where is the butterfly you saw? I don't see it flitting around, do you?
I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
Anyway, everyone knows that butterflies don't survive in the winter.
Supernatural ones do.
All right, Kay.
I don't know what's got into the poor girl. I can only assume that Ivy's right, and she hit her head a lot harder than we thought when she fell in the snow.
I may have lost some blood, but I didn't lose my mind.
No, of course not, dear. But I would like to assure all of you that I am not in the habit of going around burping butterflies. Oh, the very idea is absurd, not to mention unsanitary. Who knows where a butterfly's proboscis has been?
Tabitha, don't try to change the subject. I saw her. A butterfly came out of her mouth just now.
Yes, but you don't seem to have any proof, Kay. And I mean, without proof, well...
Darn it. Where could it be?
We're all waiting, Julian. What's the money for?
I always keep a cash reserve on hand in case of emergency.
What emergency would cost $1 million?
You know how expensive plumbers are.
Crane Maintenance has plumbers on staff.
Well, yes, but even so.
This withdrawal slip's from tonight.
So?
So you had the bank open up in a snowstorm so that you could make a withdrawal?
It's one of the perks of being a Crane.
Even so, what kind of emergency could you possibly be expecting tonight that would cost $1 million to fix?
I gather that was your man with the dirt on Teresa?
Yes. He guarantees it will bury her.
Good. How much does he want?
Well, not very much when you consider what you're getting in return.
But how much?
Well, it's vendetta value for your vendetta dollar.
How much?
$1 million.
$1 million?
Why are you grilling my Pookie like a steak? It's his money. He can do what he wants with it.
You better not be spending our community property on your trashy mistress here, Julian.
I am not trashy.
Would you rather I called you an old whore?
Are you going to let that little gutter snipe insult me like that?
Well, technically.
Oh.
I'm so glad you decided to stay over tonight. Shoot. Can't hear what Whitney is saying. Well, it doesn't matter. It's obvious she's trying to seduce poor Chad.
I didn't have much choice but to stay over. I mean, your car is still stuck in the snow, and it's too far for me to walk home in this weather. I mean, besides, I want to be here in the morning to help explain to your parents what happened to their car.
And it's very sweet of you to want to stand by my side like that.
I just wish we can always be together.
So do I. But we just can't hurt Simone with the truth right now. I mean, she's had enough upset dealing with Kay's life be completely ruined. If we pull the rug out from under her now, it could destroy her.
I hear what you're saying. I just think you worry about Simone a little too much. I mean, she's not as fragile as you and your folks might think. I mean, fact is, I think Simone is a pretty tough cookie.
Simone's tough act is just that. An act to try to protect herself from being hurt. That's why we can't let her find us together. Or she'll be totally crushed, okay?
We'll be careful.
Nobody plays me for a fool and gets away with it. Especially my sister.
Liz was sleepwalking. I mean, that's your explanation for all of this.
Sweetheart, I know this sounds far-fetched, but it's true.
I don't believe it.
Well, honey, I didn't believe it either at first, but that's what happened. After you got called to the hospital, I was getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden, Liz came in here. She was all dazed and confused, and then I realized that she was sleepwalking. So I called you at the hospital to get some advice, but you weren't available.
Yes, it's true. I had several emergencies.
Sweetheart, I know because I spoke to the nurse, and the nurse told me not to wake a sleepwalker. Just let them do what they have to do. Let nature take its course, and they'll wake up on their own.
That's true, T.C. But to let Liz seduce you?
Sweetheart, I didn't.
You let her lock you in this room, and then you jumped into bed with her.
Honey, that's not what happened. Liz fell asleep in our bed. I fell asleep on the floor. Baby, I thought you came home and that you were calling me and that you wanted me. And Lord knows I wanted to make love to you. I didn't realize that Liz was here. I jumped into bed and I thought it was you, baby.
Don't you baby me, T.C., because you still haven't explained why that door was locked.
Sweetheart, I don't know. Maybe Liz got mixed up and thought she was in the garage apartment and locked the door.
Then why didn't you unlock it?
Sweetheart, she took the key and put it down the front of her nightgown, and I damn sure wasn't going down there to get it.
Okay, then why didn't you call Simone or Whitney to unlock the door for you? Answer me, T.C. When you found yourself locked in here with Liz, why didn't you call for help at once?
For the last time, Julian, what's the money for?
As I said, I like to keep a cash reserve around the house in case of emergencies. We were running low.
So we stocked up.
I will not have my wasteful wife or my wayward son question me about what I do with my money.
You mean our money, Julian. Julian, make sure this room is neat when you leave. Ivy wouldn't let the staff clean up earlier, and, well, look what happened to her.
Are you threatening me?
Just putting you on notice. I'm gonna go upstairs and feed little Ethan. If you and Rebecca insist on engaging in any more deviant debauchery, get a motel room.
God, what a family I have. Dysfunctional with a capital D.
I feel relieved not to be a Crane anymore. You know, you might be right. We should get out of this house for more reasons than one. We could start packing and be out of here by tomorrow morning.
I can't wait. Could I have a word with you before you go upstairs, Gwen? I'll be just a sec, okay?
Don't be long.
I'm going to put this money away for safekeeping. That includes keeping it safe from you and your unsavory pastimes. As for opening the safe in the library, don't bother. I've had the combination changed.
Night, Father. Always a pleasure. Well, looks like the show's over, so, night, ladies.
Could you shut the doors on your way out, please?
Sure.
Mother, whatever you have to say, make it quick, okay? I have a lot of packing to do. That's just it. You and Ethan are not moving out of the mansion. No, you are staying right here. I insist.
Butterfly must have flown away, but I saw one come out of Tabitha's mouth.
You poor thing. As if getting knocked out by your cousin's fiancé isn't bad enough. Now you've been knocked in the noggin and you're imagining things.
It's so sad when such a young girl has mental problems. I think we should try to get her help right away. Maybe Dr. Eve...
I am not having mental problems. I saw a butterfly come out of Tabitha's mouth just like I saw you and David conspiring against my parents.
Do you believe that Eve told the truth when she said that the DNA tests prove that John is Grace's son?
Of course we do.
We believe Eve completely.
I knew this whole thing was a mistake. I knew my dad would never do what Kay was accusing him of.
John's right. I mean, you are not capable of living a lie or betraying your son like that. I have to agree, Kay must have hit her head harder than we thought. And David, I owe you an apology. I mean, for me to think for 1 second that you could do such awful things by lying to John and me. It's just that Kay seems so certain.
It's okay. I understand.
Ivy, I think I owe you an apology for not trusting you. If Eve says that John is Grace's son, well, I can't see how he wouldn't be.
Thank you, Sam.
Sam, I think you owe David an apology, too.
David, I'm sorry for thinking the worst of you. Grace, I think you owe Ivy an apology.
So why didn't you call Whitney or Simone to unlock the door?
Sweetheart, I didn't want my daughters seeing any other woman in our bedroom except you. Now, despite what I said, the situation looked inappropriate.
Yeah, well, I can't argue with that.
Honey, nothing happened, okay? I mean, Liz was sleepwalking. Sweetheart, she's asleep right now. Us talking hasn't awakened her yet.
The story sounds completely implausible.
What?
TC, even if I believe that she is sleepwalking, that doesn't excuse your behavior. What were you doing kissing Liz?
Ivy, I'm sorry that I believed that you'd stoop so low as to use David to come between Sam and me.
It's all right, Grace. I understand how you could think the worst of me. I mean, and Kay is your daughter. It's only natural that you would want to believe her, no matter how absurd her accusations are.
This is so ridiculous!
Kay.
Thank goodness for Kay's knock on the noggin. Now everyone just thinks she's hallucinating. If anyone were to believe her, we'd be out in the snow and out of luck.
Mother, are you as crazy as you look in that outfit? After what Teresa did to Ethan's mother tonight, throwing Ivy out into a blizzard, he has every intention of moving out, and I agree with him. And I think that you should consider getting new digs, too, before Teresa gives you the boot.
Never. I am staying right here, and so are you and Ethan.
Why would you want to? Teresa called you an old whore, and Julian was too cowed by her to even defend you. Little Miss Guacamole has completely taken over this house.
Yeah, well, not for long. I have a plan that is going to get rid of her once and for all.
Yeah, like I haven't heard that before?
Yeah, well, this time it's the truth.
Well, I'll believe that when I see it. But for now, Teresa is still here, and she's causing more trouble than ever. Mother, her going against Ethan and kicking Ivy out of the house was huge. Huge.
Yes. And so was the smile on Ivy's face when she realized she'd be that much closer to Sam and his lovely couch.
You and Ivy are like Lucy and Ethel. You know, it's like Mrs. Trumbull pulled a fast one, took over the building and evicted Lucy, and Ethel is not too far behind with her walking papers.
Gwen, save that wonderful imagination of yours for keeping Ethan happy in bed.
Mother, I'm serious. I cannot live with the stress anymore, okay? I'm having a baby, and I really would like to stay calm and relaxed. Not to mention the fact that I want Ethan away from Teresa. You should have seen her at the hospital. Ethan was really put off by Teresa calling Ivy a monster, and I would like to take advantage of that while the getting's good.
Look, if you just wait a little while longer, you'll see that Teresa will be out and you and I will be in Clover. Gwen, what do you think all that money is for? Julian has agreed to pay my secret informant for the information he dug up on Teresa. I shudder to think what would happen if Teresa got word of this.
Come in.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to give this to Lethan. Make sure he has a match set.
Oh, no. That pair is yours. I won it for you on our first official date. I want you to keep it. Little Ethan, he has the bear that you won for him.
I know. I just didn't want this little guy to get lost in the move.
What move?
Well, I've been cleaning out my room to pack. Gwen and I are moving out first thing in the morning.
No, he... Throwing herself at him like a $5 whore. I don't care what Kay says about playing it cool. I have got to put a stop to this once and for all. Whitney thinks that it's okay to stab me in the back. We'll see how she feels when I return the favor. Why were you kissing Liz?
Sweetheart, I thought Liz was you. I swear.
Oh, TC, how could you think such a thing?
Sweetheart, that's what happened. I mean, after Liz had stopped sleepwalking and fell asleep in our bed, I went to sleep on the floor. Honey, I was laying there and I was thinking about you and I guess with all the champagne I drank before you went to the hospital, my brain was clouded. I jumped in the bed. I didn't even realize Liz was here. I smelled your perfume and I assumed it was you.
You smelled my perfume on Liz?
Sweetheart, I thought you put it on for me.
You're right, TC. Liz did use my perfume.
You know, that's funny because I don't remember her using it. Unless she put it on while she was sleepwalking and I would sleep on the floor.
That's one possible explanation.
Well, what else would explain it?
That Liz isn't sleepwalking at all.
Honey, no!
What information could you possibly have on Teresa that is worth $1 million?
Well, to tell you the truth, I really don't know yet, but I'm hoping it's enough to send her back to the barrio where she belongs. Look, that way I can marry Julian and convince him to adopt Ethan just like we planned all along.
I don't know if Ethan will agree to that. You heard him earlier. He seems glad he's a Bennett and not a Crane.
No, because deep down, Ethan wants what he's been groomed for his entire life. To run Crane Industries. And besides, there is no way that Alistair or Julian will allow Fox to take over Crane Industries. No, they think he's nothing but an immature playboy.
Teresa, our minds are made up. Gwen and I are going to get our own place. We would have moved out much sooner, but I didn't want to leave my mother here alone to fend for herself. But now that she's gone, there's no reason for Gwen and I to stay.
Oh, yes, there is. And this has always been your home, Ethan, and there's no reason for that to change.
Things have changed, Teresa. This is your home now. It's yours and little Ethan's.
Ethan, please don't leave. Little Ethan will miss his godfather so much.
You know, when I see you with little Ethan like this, feeding him and being such a good mother to him, reminds me of the old you, the kind you, the Teresa that I fell in love with.
I'm still that person. I am still the woman that you loved enough to want to marry.
How can you say that? How can you say that after you threw my mother out into a blizzard, trashed her character at the hospital?
Ethan, I don't want to talk about that again.
No, of course you don't.
Oh, Ivy said terrible things about me, my son, my family. after I let her stay in my home in the first place? You know, if she wasn't your mother, you would be behind me 100%. Besides, I'm sure she's much happier at your father's home.
She seems to be adjusting, but look, Teresa, I don't want to rehash things either. Besides, in a way, this is all my fault.
How so?
Well, if you wouldn't have gone down to Bermuda to try to get Julian to adopt me, you wouldn't have wound up in this mess that the Cranes call a life. I have a family to think about now, a baby on the way and a wife, and I need to put them first. So, Gwen and I will be moving out first thing in the morning.
Eve, why did you throw water on Liz? Liz, are you okay?
Well, I don't know. How did I get in here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd like to know. What were you doing in here in bed with my husband?
I was in bed with TC. We were... Oh, no. Please don't tell me I was sleepwalking again.
Were you ever? Eve had been called to the hospital when you showed up in that, and you locked our door, and you took the key, and you put it down, and where I couldn't get a hold of it.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't want to startle you by waking you up, so you lied down in our bed, and you must have thought you were at the garage apartment.
Oh, I did.
Sweetheart, why did you throw water on Liz? I mean, the nurse said not to wake up a sleepwalker. The shock could really hurt him.
You're right, TC, that's true, but since Liz isn't hurt, that proves she wasn't really sleepwalking.
Eve, what are you saying?
I'm saying that sleepwalking is a very rare condition. Very few people actually suffer from it.
But I do.
I don't buy that, Liz. I don't buy it for 1 second.
Honey, listen. I'm a cop. I know what traumatic experiences can do to the mind, all right? Just have to calm down and relax.
Fine. Don't believe me. But sooner or later, I'm going to prove that Tabitha's a witch, and I'm going to prove that David and Ivy are working together to destroy your marriage.
Okay, I'm sure after you get a good night's sleep, you'll realize that the bump on your head made you hallucinate.
Don't count on it.
All right, well, you know what? It's getting awfully late, and we should really let Tabitha go to sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, everyone.
Okay? Let's go. It's time to go home.
Oh, no, I actually meant what I said earlier. I'm not going anywhere with you people.
With my powers of persuasion, Julian cannot help but be convinced to let Ethan take over for him. But not if you and Ethan move out of the mansion. Now, you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind. Now, you have to keep Ethan front and center if you want him to regain his position with the Cranes.
What you're saying actually makes sense. But I already told Ethan I want to move out first thing in the morning.
Well, sweetie, it's a woman's prerogative to change your mind. So just tell Ethan you've changed your mind. That's all. Go be quick about it.
Okay. All right. I'll see what I can do.
Rebecca thinks she can get rid of Teresa and get Ethan the top job at Crane Industries. She can think again.
Do you want to help me finish feeding little Ethan?
No, Teresa. It's getting late, and I have to finish packing.
Say good night to your godfather, little Ethan. Night. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay.
I wish you the best. I hope you get what you want in life.
I will get what I want, Ethan. You will be mine again. I swear it.
Eve, I'm confused. Now, if you doubt that I was sleepwalking, then what do you think? Why would I be in your bedroom, in bed, with TC?
Don't play dumb with me, Liz. You know exactly what I think.
Eve, you don't honestly think that I was pretending to sleepwalk in some sort of outlandish attempt to seduce your husband?
That's exactly what I think.
You're not worried about my father or Rebecca. You don't care that they're planning to spend $1 million to get damaging information on you.
You take me and you vote Corona. I will make sure everyone knows you're a witch. I will stop Whitney from stealing Chad away from me.